Hey y'all, welcome to this episode of In Full Bloom for August of 2025. One of the things that I'm really trying to create is interest throughout all the seasons of the year. And one thing that this video has shown me that I'm really lacking in late summer, early fall blooming for here in Georgia, and that I need to work on that and finding plants that are just coming into bloom this time of year, because I don't mind things reblooming. Of course, you want color and you want your plants to really give you the best bang for the buck by reblooming or continually showing color. But I'm also wanting something new and interesting to say, oh man, I haven't seen that yet this year, and look, I'm so glad that's coming to bloom. It's finally whatever time of year that it is. So I'm going to show y'all what's in bloom in my garden. It's a little shorter than normal of the new things in bloom, but I have a few things that are also still blooming, and those things are to be noted as well. In our area here, we have had a lot of rain recently and really milder than normal temperatures. Typically, this is our hottest part of the year, and I'm so thankful for the relief. It's given me a chance to get some yard work done, and as you can hear, my neighbors are enjoying and taking advantage of that weather as well, so I hope that doesn't disturb this audio too much, but I live in a neighborhood, so I kind of have to deal with it. So anyways, come on along, let's see what we have, and let me know if you have something different that is just coming into bloom in your area that you would like to share down in the comments. Maybe I need to head out to my local garden center and pick it up. All right, y'all, this is what I am most proud of for this video. This is the Pye Weed. This is a dwarf variety of Pye Weed. There are multiple sizes that you can find, some reaching up to 12 feet tall. This one is supposed to top out at 4 feet tall. We'll see if that holds true or not. But this year, y'all, it is looking really great. Pye Weed is a native plant for this area. And I tell you, when I say that it is a pollinator attractor, it really brings them. If you'll head over to my short, you'll see a video where it is just, I mean, I couldn't count if I wanted to how many pollinators were on this plant. It does put out kind of a vanilla scent is what it says, but I've never been able to smell it, but I also haven't stuck my nose into it either because, well, it's always covered in pollinators. But just from standing a little bit back, I don't smell anything in particular. So if you're sensitive to fragrances, I wouldn't be discouraged from getting this plant. It is a cottage garden mainstay. It wants to have really average moisture. It wants it to be a little well draining, which of course we don't have, but what you don't want is for it to dry out because it'll get leggy. It's going to be more susceptible to flopping over. When you've got that much height on relatively thin stems, flopping is always kind of an issue. I've put in there some peony stakes or supports, but they're not using them right now. The one in the back may be a little, and so I just put those there just in case they need it. Last year was I think that was their first full year in the ground, and they did flop quite a bit, but this year they're much stronger and sturdier and don't seem to be quite as floppy even with all the rain that we've gotten. So this is Pye Weed. It is, I think, zone 3 to 8B. I'll have to put that on the screen just to be sure. I think it goes to 3, which is really amazing. It is herbaceous, and it we'll cut it down to the ground every year, and it will come back and the clump will get a little bit larger. So go and get you some Pye Weed if you have a cottage style garden, or if you have a pollinator garden in a little bit of a wet area, which may be a problem for you. This is your solution, and I highly recommend it. All right, another great plant for this time of year is Sedum, and this is the Sunsparkler Dazzleberry Sedum from Monrovia. We had for a couple of years in the ground, and it just really wasn't doing anything. It is a ground cover. It gets 4 to 6 inches tall, but 24 to 30 inches wide. So it was really planning on kind of filling out an edge of a border, but it really wouldn't put any growth on. So not needing much water and liking well-drained conditions, kind of like this blue spruce, we decided to put them together, and there is no irrigation on this pot, and it has really exploded. So much so that we're gonna have to probably move it out this year because we don't want to damage the blue spruce. That's what we're protecting and trying to help give it its ideal location. The sedum, not so much, though I do love it. I love the dark foliage with the contrast of the pink blooms that are happening right now. And I'm hoping if we can get it back in the ground with no problem, that it now being a little bit more established will take off and hopefully won't be put off by the clay and the extra moisture it will be receiving when we move it. It wants full sun. This one is not getting full sun. This area is part sun at best. I would probably call it part shade, if anything. Pretty low maintenance. That's what I love about sedums. Not too many things bother it, and so we can just kind of let it go. So this is Sunsparkler Dazzleberry Sedum. I don't know if you noticed, our cut flower garden is no longer here. Like I said, big changes happening. We did leave these profusion double white zinnias here at the front. They're still putting on some color. But what we're hoping to do is, I think I want to put a quick Fire Fab Hydrangea. I think they get like 8 feet by 8 feet. If you live in the Georgia area, you can tell me where I can get a 3-gallon quick Fire Fab. Leave that in the comments. We have to travel typically to get the plants that we want, if it's not one of the ones that are just kind of commonly found. If you wouldn't mind, share that with me. I would really appreciate it. So the other purpose of this video is really for you guys, to see what plants look like at different stages. This was the Echibeckia Summerina, and whenever I talked to y'all about it, I was just over the moon about it, and I still am, y'all. It is a really pretty plant. Now it needs to be deadheaded a little bit. It would make it look a little bit better, but I didn't because I am gonna pull this out. And here's the reason why I wanted to show y'all. You know, I talked about, what was it, Fastigiate or something? No, it wasn't Fastigiate. What did it say? I can't remember now. Where the bloom was kind of growing into itself, and they said it was yellow aster or just a genetic problem, which is what I would think with this being a hybrid with Rebeckia and Echinacea, because like I said, the name is Echibeckia. That's probably what that is. And I saw some at actually our local Lowe's had this plant and this season, so maybe it's not as hard to find as I thought, and their blooms in the store looked the same way. So that gave me hope that, oh, it's just a genetic thing and it's just the way that it's gonna look, no big deal. But this is what's kind of concerning for me, is over here on this bloom. Can y'all see that? It's like putting a bud on top of the bloom, it looks like. I don't know. That is just so strange. And also some of the other eyes on it just aren't quite right. And it concerns me that it's something more serious than just a genetic thing or aesthetic situation. So I think we're gonna pull it out. So I wanted to share that with y'all and to let y'all know that it is in fact still in bloom. Right next door to it here is the Serendipity Allium. It's got a few blooms left on it, but I think it's coming to the end of its season. All right, so this is Beyond Midnight Caryopteris, which is Bluebeard is its common name. It's all of a sudden put on more blooms and is reblooming, which I'm very thankful for. But it still has a few, and I'm guessing it's just the amount of moisture that we've had. Y'all, we had like 5 inches of rain in 2 days last week. And like I said, plants like these that don't really like that much moisture are really struggling. But I'm gonna zoom in here and let y'all see. These have like these little ringlets of blooms, y'all. Is so pretty. And last year, this was the pollinator favorite. All right, this is Upscale Lavender Taffeta. We cut it back and it is starting to do a small rebloom. I'm hoping in the next few weeks we'll get a larger rebloom for the fall. We also cut back, this is Pow Wow White Coneflower. And though it's not as tall and big as it was, it is reblooming, adding some little polka dots of white with yellow centers. And this is White Wand's Veronica. It is also putting on another bloom. All these things got cut back and have been cut back again. This is Denim and Lace Russian Sage. It's got some blooms on it. This is the Rainbow series from Proven Winners of Daylilies. It's called Orange Smoothie. And as you can see, like, it will rebloom. But this is only like the second time it's rebloomed, and this one that I'm looking at here is gorgeous. They are absolutely gorgeous when they're in bloom. But getting a consistent rebloom on all of the plants where they look really nice and not like this right here it's very difficult. And y'all, the double play Doozie is still rocking it with its beautiful pink blooms, hot pink blooms. We have not cut or pruned on this at all. I was going to, and I think I made like one cut probably where that hole is right there, and it just didn't look very good. Really, I'd take after it with shears probably next year. It is also going to get relocated into our garden when it cools off some, and I think it'll like its location a whole lot. I can't wait to show y'all. Alright, so this is Summerlong Magenta Agastache. I have lost one of them, and the other one I have cut back. The odd thing is, I'm going to show y'all in a minute, is the Mint to Me Nectarine Agastache that we've had in our garden now for 2 or 3 seasons, which typically does great. We have lost 2 of the 3 of them as well, so I don't know if something just kind of attacked the Agastache this year or what happened, but they're not doing very well. But I would definitely give them a second try and see if it was just the weird weather of this year before I totally said no more Agastache. So all right, and I'm showing y'all the Limelight Standard hydrangea that is in our yard. It also is going to be seeing its way out. So as y'all hear me say this, we are fixing to do a really big project this fall and spring where we reconfigure pretty much everything. It's going to feel that way, at least to me, because there are a lot of plants that are going to be moving, and there are a lot of plants that are going to be leaving. And so I can't wait to bring y'all along for that journey. I hope that y'all will subscribe so that you can come along and see what we do and if we're successful at it or not. The reason why this standard is going to be seeing its way out, as I've showed y'all before, over half of the tree will not produce any stems or leaves. So right here through the middle, all of this side is not producing anything. So it's very lopsided, which makes it look funny. And we've tried everything to try to spur it along, and for some reason, I guess it's just the sun, this left side is in quite a bit more shade, and I guess that's the reason why. I'm not really sure, because I know hydrangeas around here, we have plenty that are in the shade and they do fine. So I don't know, I'm tired of worrying about it, and my garden shouldn't stress me out. So they're gonna see their way out. Down below here is the Pugster amethyst butterfly bushes. I talked to y'all in last week's video about how we've been having problems with stink bug and I think too much water, and I don't know what else is going on, but we came out here yesterday and pruned on them again and really tried to clean them out. And y'all, here is the reason why we do this, or you should do this. Can you see down there? So it is putting on new growth again. So these are tough little plants, and they will leaf back out readily. So don't be afraid to get in there, and don't wait till the next season. Go ahead and try to take care of it this season and see if you can get your plant looking healthier and just looking better, because that's what we all want, is for our yards and our gardens to look appealing and aesthetically nice. All right, y'all, this is the hydrangea that I can't ever remember the name to, because it had 3 different names to it. I think it's not white wedding, but it's something about wedding and dress. I don't know, but it is not the paniculata one. This is actually a big leaf or a macrophylla, and it doesn't have any new blooms. But y'all, for the first time that I ever remember, We've had this plant for like 5 years, and it has moved about quite a bit trying to find the right sun location for it. But look, y'all, it's getting color on the blooms. We've never had that before. It's always here in the south, it's you know, a lime green new, or white and then lime green, and then brown and toasty. So that is really something very amazing for us to get to see here in the south. This is our more shady location of the Incrediball Smooth Hydrangea from Proven Winners. Our Blue Fortune Agastache is still doing great here, and it's covered in pollinators this morning. Our Abelia still has blooms on it. This is the Luminary Phlox from Proven Winners. This is ultraviolet, is of course, the pinky color. All right, and this is the white, is the Luminary Backlight Phlox. Again, it probably needs to be a little deadheaded, but we have been just trying to get through the season because it has been a doozy. All right, and below it, these are going to probably see their way out as well. I've talked to y'all about this multiple times. This is apricot, I can't remember the name, coneflower. And as y'all can see, well, it's got a few. It has more orange than apricot happening. For some reason, the blooms, they're just getting eaten, I guess. They don't ever really bloom out the way other coneflowers that I have in the garden look. They typically look like this most of the season. All right, this is hot and cold Nephophia, or red hot poker. And here is the rest of our Pugster butterfly bushes. We have Pugster blue here in the front. And these over on this side actually look better. They are the part of the candy series. It's Lil Lavender. So they all have Lil, L-I-L, and then a name. So Lil Lavender, I think Little Grape, Lil Raspberry. This is Lil Lavender. I'll zoom in so y'all can see the bloom, because it doesn't have a ton on them because we just deadheaded them yesterday. But the plant itself is looking so much better. And again, I'll let y'all see down in there. Do you see the new growth that's happening? So that's a good thing. That has me excited. And like I said, we'll make it through this season, but it has me looking forward to next season. So this hole is where our Agastache are meant to be nectarine Agastaches, and here is the lone. I don't know if you can see the flowers actually almost look the same as behind it is Pinky Winky. I'll zoom in a little bit. And again, we do get pink, we do get some pink on our Pinky Winkies, but not typically like this. So I'm hoping the plants aren't too stressed. But I do love that there's some color on those blooms right now. And then we have some more Blue Fortune Agastache next to it. This is the double scoop bubblegum coneflower. Putting on a little bit more color. So we've tried to keep things deadheaded. We worked really hard the past couple of days cleaning up the yard after all of the rain, and it's fixing to start again actually in just a little bit. So I was trying to get out here and record really quick before it started raining, and then we're going to get another 3 or 4 inches of rain this week. All right, let me show y'all this. And most people would not, and not that that means that I deserve an award, but so this is heliotrope. This is the Augusta lavender heliotrope we actually had underneath the maple tree, and it was started struggling. I do think it has some whitefly, but also I don't know if it was getting enough sun. So we decided we would move it now because it is possibly perennial in our area. So I told my husband, I said, well, let's move it, and that way if it happens to come back, then it'll be in a happier place next year. And if we can hopefully get it to root in well, then maybe it'll carry over. But it's still, as terrible as it looks, has a couple of little blooms. They're very, very tiny. but I want to show y'all this is kind of a before in case there's a good after. Y'all are Atlas roses. This is, again, I'll show y'all, and you can decide if this is a plant for you. Roses in the south, they just struggle. They don't really love the humidity, but they have leaves and they've got some blooms, though scraggly as they are. Our Superbena Cobalt has limping along. It's waiting for it to get cooler as well. This one doesn't have any. It's got one little bud fixing to pop. That one doesn't have any. And then this one has a couple of blooms. So if you can hold tight, our hope is the fall will mean a lot more color. This is Lilac Crush Hibiscus, Summerific Hibiscus. No blooms. I have like what looks like one, maybe two buds, but nothing else going on. Here's our Abelia. It is still blooming, which the bees love. He's getting him some morning breakfast here. These are Surefire White Begonias. And our urns have Mexican Heather. They've got Diamond Frost Euphorbia. And in there is some purple Angelonia. It gets swallowed up by the Diamond Frost this time of year, but I'm okay with that because the Diamond Frost just looks so amazing. And y'all, I know that this is typically a perennial or a shrub video, but I have to brag on this jazzberry. It hasn't skipped a beat, and it looks amazing. Along this other Abelia, Pancake Arborvitae. And here's our full sun Incrediball Smooth Hydrangea. I'm probably fixing to come. This will be the last time y'all see these because I'm gonna deadhead the I don't really like the brown and crispy blooms. I know some people don't mind them for their hydrangea, but I don't really care for them, so I'll be cutting those off. And then lastly is this unplugged white salvia. So I'm gonna end here and talk to y'all about this unplugged white salvia. Y'all, this salvia right here is not on irrigation. We never did put in any drip. I have not deadheaded it one time. It is amazing. I can't say that enough. I do have a couple of supports because it got a little floppy trying to hold it up off of this phlox. Thank y'all so much for coming along in this episode of In Full Bloom. I hope that you have things that are blooming in your yard. Make sure you're looking for year-round color and interest in your garden, whether it be foliage or blooms. And I would love to hear, what do you have in your garden that is blooming just coming into August and September for the first time? I hope y'all have a great day, and we'll see y'all soon.